Hello, future chemists. Welcome to an exciting journey into the heart of molecular structure. Today, we are unraveling the fascinating concept of resonance, a key idea in chemical bonding. We'll start with the basics, move through intermediate concepts, tackle some complex applications, and finally dive deep into its competitive insights. Get ready to explore how molecules achieve extraordinary stability. Ready to discover why some molecules just can't be described by a single structure? Let's begin our easy exploration into the world of resonance. Resonance occurs when a single Lewis structure isn't enough to accurately represent a molecule. Instead, we use a combination of multiple, contributing structures, also known as resonance structures or canonical forms. These aren't real structures, they're imaginary. The actual molecule is a resonance hybrid, which is a blend of all these forms and is more stable than any single one. We denote resonance structures with a double-headed arrow. Remember, only electrons move, not atoms, and all contributing structures must have the same number of electron pairs and similar energy. Let's look at some classic examples. Take ozone, O. Its two O bonds are identical, intermediate between a single and a double bond. This can only be explained by two resonance structures, where the double bond shifts. Similarly, in the carbonate ion, co-superscript 2, all three CO bonds are identical. This is because the double bond character is delocalized over all three oxygen atoms, leading to three equivalent resonance structures and a highly stable resonance hybrid. Time to test your understanding. Pause here and try these questions. First, what symbol is used to indicate resonance structures? Second, which molecule exists as a resonance hybrid, HO or co-superscript 2? And finally, list two conditions necessary for a molecule to exhibit resonance. Think carefully about the rules we just discussed. Now that we've grasped the basics, let's elevate our understanding. We are moving on to the medium level, where we'll explore electron delocalization and its energetic advantages. At the core of resonance is electron delocalization, the spreading of electrons, typically pi electrons or lone pairs, over three or more atoms. This spreading reduces electron-electron repulsion and increases stability. The extra stability gained due to this delocalization is quantified as resonance energy or stabilization energy. It's the difference in energy between the resonance hybrid and the most stable canonical form. A larger resonance energy means a more stable molecule, and it's always an energy release. When drawing resonance structures, we must follow specific rules. First, atomic positions must remain unchanged, only electrons move. Second, the total number of electron pairs, both bonding and non-bonding, must be conserved. Third, each structure must be a valid Lewis structure, generally adhering to the octet rule. Fourth, structures with fewer formal charges are generally more stable. And finally, if charges are present, negative charges should reside on more electronegative atoms, and positive charges on less electronegative ones. Electron delocalization manifests in several ways. We have pi-pi conjugation, seen in alternating single and double bonds, like in 1,3-butadiene. Then there's lone pair pi conjugation, where a lone pair is adjacent to a pi bond, as in chlorobenzene. We also see positive charge pi conjugation, such as in the allyl cation, and negative charge pi conjugation, like in the allyl anion. Lastly, odd electron pi conjugation involves a free radical adjacent to a pi bond, as in the allyl radical. Each type contributes to the overall stability. Alright, let's solidify these concepts with some practice. Define resonance energy. Why is the resonance hybrid more stable than any single canonical form? Draw the resonance structures for the nitrate ion. Identify the type of conjugation in CH is equal to CH-CH. And finally, can formaldehyde exhibit resonance? Justify your answer. Take your time to work through these. Ready to dive deeper? The hard level will challenge you to distinguish between major and minor contributors, calculate bond orders, and understand the real-world applications of resonance. Not all resonance structures are created equal, some contribute more to the overall hybrid than others. Major contributors are more stable and lower in energy, adhering to more stability rules. Minor contributors are less stable and contribute less. Factors determining contribution include structures with more covalent bonds are generally preferred. Those where all atoms have complete octets are highly stable. Minimized formal charges and negative charges residing on more electronegative atoms also lead to greater stability and thus, a major contribution to the resonance hybrid. Resonance also helps us understand intermediate bond lengths and strengths. We can calculate the bond order in molecules exhibiting resonance using a simple formula. It's the total number of bonds between two specific atoms across all resonance structures, divided by the total number of resonance structures. For instance, in benzene, each carbon-carbon bond has a bond order of 1.5, reflecting its intermediate character. Similarly, in the carbonate ion, each carbon-oxygen bond has a bond order of 1.33, explaining why all three bonds are identical and stronger than a single bond but weaker than a double bond. The consequences of resonance are far-reaching. It significantly enhances molecular stability, as seen in benzene and carboxylic acids. It alters reactivity, dictating where electrophilic substitution occurs in aromatic rings. Resonance explains why carboxylic acids are much stronger acids than alcohols, by stabilizing their conjugate bases. It also accounts for the observed intermediate bond lengths in many molecules. Understanding resonance is crucial for predicting and explaining a wide array of chemical properties and reactions. Now, let's tackle these challenging questions. Draw the resonance structures for phenol and identify the major contributor. Calculate the CO bond order in the formate ion. Explain why acetic acid is a stronger acid than ethanol using resonance. Which molecule has greater resonance energy, benzene or 1,3-butadiene? Why is it incorrect to say a molecule oscillates between structures? Predict CO bond lengths in CO and CO. And finally, how does resonance affect reactivity in electrophilic aromatic substitution? Good luck! Welcome to the hardest level. Here, we'll explore resonance through a quantum mechanical lens, differentiate it from related concepts, delve into its quantitative aspects, and uncover its profound impact on diverse chemical properties. Brace yourself for competitive depth. From a quantum mechanical perspective, resonance isn't classical oscillation but a consequence of electron delocalization. Valence bond theory describes it as a superposition of contributing Lewis structures, where the actual state is a linear combination of their wave functions. Molecular orbital theory offers a more accurate view, where electrons occupy delocalized molecular orbitals extending over multiple atoms, inherently describing the delocalized nature without needing separate resonance structures. The hybrid isn't an average, but a unique, more stable quantum mechanical state. It's vital to distinguish resonance from related concepts. Resonance, or the mesomeric effect, involves the delocalization of pi electrons or lone pairs through a conjugated system. Hyperconjugation, or no-bond resonance, is weaker, involving the delocalization of sigma electrons into an adjacent pi system or MTP orbital, stabilizing carbocations and alkenes. Aromaticity is a special, exceptionally stable form of resonance found in cyclic, planar, fully conjugated systems obeying Huckel's rule, 4n plus 2 pi electrons, like benzene. These concepts, while distinct, all contribute to molecular stability. We can quantitatively assess resonance through experimental methods. Resonance energy is often determined by comparing the experimental heat of hydrogenation or combustion with theoretical values, revealing the extra stabilization. For benzene, this value is significant, explaining its unusual stability. X-ray diffraction provides direct experimental evidence for intermediate bond lengths, such as the identical C-to-C bonds in benzene, which are neither pure single nor pure double. NMR spectroscopy further supports delocalized electron systems by showing equivalent nuclei in such molecules. Resonance profoundly impacts chemical properties. In acidity and basicity, electron-withdrawing groups with AM effect stabilize conjugate bases, increasing acidity, while electron-donating groups with A plus M effect do the opposite. In electrophilic aromatic substitution, resonance gains the directing effects of substituents, making them ortho-para or meta-directors. It also stabilizes reaction intermediates like carbocations and carbanions, influencing reaction pathways. Furthermore, extensive delocalization in conjugated systems reduces the homolumo energy gap, leading to light absorption in the visible region, thereby imparting color to organic dyes. Let's tackle these advanced questions. First, explain how Mo theory describes electron delocalization without explicit resonance structures. Second, distinguish resonance from hyperconjugation with examples. Third, how is benzene's resonance energy determined, and what does a positive value signify? Fourth, explain the CO bond length difference between CO and CO using resonance. And fifth, arrange phenol, ethanol, and p-nitrophenol by acidity, justifying with resonance. Take your time, these require deep thought. Continuing with our hardest questions. Sixth, why is pyrrole aromatic, despite having a lone pair on nitrogen? Seventh, predict the major product of nitrobenzene's electrophilic nitration, explaining the directing effect. Eighth, compare the stability of benzyl carbocation and T-butyl carbocation, highlighting resonance's role. Ninth, discuss resonance's role in organic dye color. And finally, can a molecule exhibit resonance without p orbitals? Justify your answer. These questions challenge your comprehensive understanding. And that brings us to the end of our in-depth exploration of resonance. We've journeyed from basic definitions to advanced quantum mechanical insights and real-world applications. Mastering this topic is crucial for your G-Main success and a deeper understanding of chemistry. For more such enriching content and practice, visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for continuous learning. Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep excelling.